Every man thinks he wants honesty until I actually give it to him. Okay? Some of you want a coach. Some of you want a babysitter. Some of you want, just a validation that what you're doing is the right path. For those of you that don't know me, I help men to break cycles, break patterns, which inevitably leads them to their fullest potential, and that inevitably helps them attract their soulmate. Once they don't need anything from anybody and they are perfectly happy just by themselves on their own, that is when they naturally attract that soulmate. If you're somebody that falls into any of these categories, then you might not be the right fit to be coached by me, because not everybody is coachable, and that's one thing I had to learn the hard way. Not everybody is going to get the right sort of help from me, and which is why I've learned to be very picky. Not even picky, but in the sense of, when somebody pays for a service, which I'm providing, I want to make sure they're actually going to get their value back and like 100 times more. I don't want to just, coach whoever just because you have the money here, here it is. And I think I did that at the very beginning, to be quite frank. And I realized that when they're not getting the results that they need, I'm not winning, and it's like, it's not about the money. It's really about, am I able to help this person? And sometimes, it needs to be a therapist. Is my mic working? Yeah. Sometimes it needs to be a therapist. Sometimes it needs to be a different kind of help, which I'm glad I've reached to that point in my life where I could be honest with people and say, you know what, I can't help you. And that has been a huge game changer. Because I find when you say no to people, and again, this is with dating as well, but when you say no to the wrong people, or just people that are not going to, get the right help, then that is when you attract the right people and even more money. Because just because you're saying no to that money and that, okay, this is why I have notes in front of me. You guys see? A long time ago, there was a client that I work with, and he told me that, and this is actually how I realized how important a coach actually is. Because a lot of men come to me and they say, I want a matchmaker. Can you be a matchmaker? I'm like, I can't match you when you haven't done any inner work. And I've said this so many times, is like, I can bring you a 10, the most amazing woman. But if you still are emotionally unaware, you're still living in the past, your internal state hasn't shifted yet, but you're looking for that love and acceptance externally, but internally your state is the same, then we're never going to get anywhere. And I think that was my struggle when I was a matchmaker, that, people wanted to get into relationships and they wanted to find the one. But then I realized observing a lot of them is that if they're not holding themselves accountable, and especially, when you're a matchmaker, you can, to some level you can, but like I couldn't see the things that I'm saying to you guys right now, which is why I'm like, I think I need to speak to some people right here, because it's just a pattern that I kept on noticing. And so with that client, what I learned is that a lot of people want to change. They want to find the one, they want transformation, all these things. But not everybody is ready for the truth. Not everybody is ready to face their fears. And so I remember he went on this date with this woman, and thank God I had this experience, because I learned so much about women and how they see men, and what were the issues that kept coming up. And one thing I noticed when she was telling me everything, she mentioned a couple of things, which I'm not going to get into in this video, but what I realized is when I went back and told him about it, he couldn't accept it. And I feel like if you're, as a man, if you are unable to accept criticism, information, whatever it is, regardless of if it's true or not, we're going to get there. But if you're not even able to listen to it and you're just like, a body like quivers and you're just like, oh, this is not it, she's BSing, and you're just getting angry and frustrated, there's something there that we need to take a look at, because there's a reason why you're behaving that way, and that's triggering for you. And what I learned is that most men don't break because of the truth. They break because the truth doesn't match their ego, their identity. And so I found this study, which is super interesting. Studies show people reject feedback that threatens their identity, even if it's 100% accurate. I wish I knew this when I first began, because this would have changed the way that I was communicating back then as a coach. Because what I've learned is that not everybody's ready for the truth, right? And to be honest, most of us know what we need to do. We already know what we need to do. We just don't want to do it. Secondly, the men who are able to take the truth, they actually become unstoppable, not just in their love life, but also money-wise. Like, there's so many different avenues where it really does affect you. That is, to me, a real strength of a man, is when he's able to face his truth. Because if you're just, hiding behind a mask or a facade, and you're living a lie, basically. Because when a man can sit through the discomfort of hearing what he doesn't want to hear, he becomes dangerous in the best way. Because if you ever want to be in a healthy relationship with a woman, or just whatever, a partner, then you are going to go through some difficult times, some challenging times. It's inevitable. You're going to have some difficult conversations. There was this man that Oprah interviewed. He wrote The Seed of the Soul. What's his name? Gary Zukav. Hopefully I'm saying it right. And I remember him talking about how when he was with his partner, he admitted to her that, listen, there's a woman, a colleague of ours, and for some reason, I am drawn to her. And her response was even more phenomenal. The fact that he, as a man, came up to her and said that's beyond. Secondly, what her response was, well, and again, this is because these two, the partnership that they really have worked on it. And so what she said back to him was, well, what are you afraid of? And that just blew me away. That firstly, I don't even know if I'm on that level yet. to like, if my man is like, hey, I'm gonna like drawn this way, that's a difficult thing to listen to. And also, admit that's even more difficult. But just having that conversation, that just shows how, mature and just like they're able to have these difficult conversations, which is inevitable. It's going to happen. And I love the line in the Bible where it says, iron sharpens iron. As a coach, I'm not here to blow smoke. I'm here to make you sharper and more in tune with yourself. And once I do that, that is when you're able to have clarity and see where you want to go. When you see the path, that is when you're also going to get guided. And that path is going to reveal itself. Once you take the first step, then you're going to get 10 different doors open. The more scary decisions you make, either to work with a coach or, get a therapist, or even go to the gym and, get a trainer, whatever that decision is, that is not something that you've seen in your life. It's not something that you have done before. Whenever you do that, you really are stepping into your best self, that version that you really want to become. And at the very beginning, it's going to be scary. People are not going to understand it. Your parents are not going to get it. Your friends are going to think that's crazy. And so your job is to stay in tune with yourself and your emotions and understand the intention behind the steps you're taking. If you want someone to validate you and hype you up every week, then you can go ahead and watch a motivational video. But if you want someone to tell you the truth, even when it hurts, that's when you come to me. And not every man is built for that level of honesty. If you're somebody who has been pondering on, should I get a coach? What does this entail? And you're just trying to understand if this is really for you, then I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions before you click off. The first question is my fear of vulnerability? Now, again, we have a lot of different fears. Some men are really vulnerable, right? If that's not it, you can apply your fear that you're having at this moment in time. So, for example, is my fear of vulnerability going to cost me the life and love I see I want? Because in life, what we fail to understand is that every choice that you make, there's going to be a downside to it and there's going to be a plus side to it. There's no positives to every single decision that you make. Secondly, I want you to ask yourself, if I keep showing up as this version of me, will I regret it in 10 years? This is a really good one because a lot of us, we live the same 6 months over and over and over again. And we're hoping that something is going to drastically change, or we just think this is life and life is a struggle and this is just what it is. And then you never reach your full potential. You never, you never follow through with your destiny. You never complete the mission that you came to complete, the contract that you've made with your spirit guides, with God, and then you end up coming back over and over again. And lastly, what I want you to ask yourself is, have I actually changed internally? Or am I just hoping that my reality changes while I stay the same? Because a lot of us do this, and I've been this person for a very long time, so I know. You're just like hoping, like, come on, why can't I get it, to happen? What's happening? Why is life so difficult? But then it's like, when you don't look internally, you're just missing the whole point of life. I would also recommend to write these questions down and journal about it. See what comes up for you. Because a lot of the times we think there's nothing there, but then we actually ask ourselves these deep, meaningful questions. We understand, oh wait, I am actually stopping myself. I am the one that is blocking myself from the life that I truly want. If these questions hit you, it's fantastic. That means that you're awake and you're ready to do the work. If you feel like you resonate with my message and you are open to getting coached by me, then this is what I want you to do next. The first thing is I want you to submit your application. So below, there's a link to apply. You can apply on there. And I just want you to be honest. And I just want you to tell me upfront, what are you struggling with without sugarcoating it? Just be brutally honest with what it is. Because if you're not honest, you're not going to get anywhere in life. Secondly, if you are accepted and you're a good fit for me, then you're going to get an email within 24 to 48 hours letting you know that you're accepted. And you're also going to receive a client agreement with kind of just what the session is going to be all about. And you're also going to get a secure link to submit to 10 USD. Thirdly, once the payment is confirmed and everything is finalized, you're going to then send me 2 times and dates that work for you. And lastly, I will be then sending your Zoom link and invite, and that is when we get straight to work. If you're done repeating these patterns and you are finally ready to level up, then I would urge you to apply. The link is going to be down below. Most men, they wait, they procrastinate, they make up excuses for why this is not the right thing for them. But that's usually your mind that is playing games with you, okay? And so I really want you to meditate on this. Ask your soul. Don't ask your mind. Don't ask your logical self. Ask your soul what it is that you need. Because most men wait, but strong men decide. They make a decision. So that is what I want for you. To make a decision. And it doesn't even, to be honest, have to be me. It could be another coach, whatever it is. It could be a gym coach you want. It doesn't matter. Just decide on what you want to do in your life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.